So now I have been playing quite a bit of Fate Grand Order here on the channel, as well outside where I do most of the grinding, which I don't really record because it is just a grind after all. And while playing it, I've been thinking quite a bit, which is kind of nice for change. And I've been thinking on a couple of things. What I want to take up in this video is the class Affinity. There we go. Let's roll with that. I've been struggling with that fucking word all day, it feels like. Most of you probably already know it way better than I do, since I'm pretty new to this game and all that. When you're looking at it, it's pretty much similar to things like Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and many other kind of RPG games and elements like that. And of course it's natural that every class have its own weaknesses as well as strengths against different classes. But when I started to play this game, I got a bit confused, I'm gonna admit that. I mean, not only is it one weapon triangle or class triangle, it is, well, 3 of them right now I think, with a couple of other outside. It's very lot to take in. Being as I said, I've been playing lots of Fire Emblem in my days, and for me weapon triangles is nothing new for me. I mean, I think it's a very simple but very awesome system that is very much the same in Fate Grand Order. You probably already know it and all that, but I just want to go through with this. And then we have also alter egos, foreigner and beast, which I don't really know much about, and honestly I don't know much about the special triangle either, so I won't go into much about that. Now this is all my opinion. There is nothing that say that this is better or this is worse. It is my thoughts about what I think how my class triangles would look like, and what I think make more sense in, I mean, then again, I mean, it's an anime game and all that, so it doesn't need to make much sense, but still though, it made me think a little bit. And in my first, I decided to just split them up in 2 different groups, melee and ranged. I'm gonna admit, I take a little bit of inspiration from Fire Emblem and all that. Total not original. And in a melee group, we have Saber, Lancer and Rider. I felt that, of course, Saber and Lancer definitely belong to it, and Rider as well, because generally Riders usually have some sort of melee weapon. Then of course there is like archers on horseback, etc., but we focus mainly on the concept of, for example, knights. And originally I wanted Lancer to be good against Saber because the reach a Lancer often had compared to a swordsman. However, pikes, spears and weapons like that were originally made to fend off cavalry. Okay, maybe not historical all way back, but it is a favorite weapon to stop cavalry and soldiers on horseback. While cavalry definitely have a big advantage against a swordman that is on the lower ground. As well, you have a big ass horse that often stomp and crush the people as well. So I felt like my melee triangle would be like this. Saber is good against Lancer, Lancer is good against Rider, and Rider is good against Saber. It's not a big change, it's more that Rider replaces Archer in that role, in that group. And in the ranged group we have Caster, Assassin and Archer. At first I thought Assassin would be at melee, however I decided on them being in ranged group on the fact that, first of all, one of the most famous classes that is counted for assassins, ninjas, using, for example, blowpipes, shurikens, kunais, weapons that is very famous within assassination. And of course they have lots of other weapons as well to the utility. But I felt that with that they kind of fit in the role as ranged as well. I decided that Caster is good against assassin, as is in the original 3, mainly because I feel that casters, they have a big field that they control. It's not easy to sneak up on them because I feel most casters, you know, big powerful mages, they have their boundary fields, they are strong, dedicated, they are on their spot, and their magic is strong, and an assassin doesn't have much of protection, so they evaporate quite easily by a caster. And assassin is good against archers because archers doesn't have the boundary field or the same surveillance on the surrounding as a caster have. So their weakness is of course their defense. They have great offensive power with long range and all of that, but when you get within that, they do have a bit of a struggle. And then we have Archer is good against Caster, because I feel like this. Archers have great range, and they can be outside of the Caster's range, powerful magic and all that, and shoot them. I mean, technically I'm basing this on how I feel about fantasy setting, is that an arrow to the throat on a mage, it doesn't matter how powerful that mage is, either they die or they won't be able to cast any spells. So that is why I felt like an Archer is a good counter against the Caster, and we have this kind of little tree right now. Berserker and Shielder is the same. I feel that their role is pretty much perfect and fulfilling what they're supposed to be. So I decided they are as they are. And then of course we have the special triangle, which I feel is okay. The only thing is that I have no fucking idea what Moon Cancer is. What is that even for a class? I mean, Avenger, I understand. Ruler, I understand. And then Moon Cancer. I mean, my first thought would be something like an Corrupted. That was my actually thought. Before I learned it was called Moon Cancer, this third special group, I personally was thinking on Corrupted, because Ruler is power, you know, stand for the rules and all that, and those that are corrupted, yeah, you know, they are corrupted by the Grail or anything like that, and are weak against the Ruler. However, their corruption is strong against the Avenger, that is already feeling with, you know, it's in their name. They want to take revenge often, and of course, corruption seep through that and are effective against the Avenger, and Avengers are of course stronger against the Ruler because they want to avenge things. And of course, this is no rules on how it really is in real life and real history, because this is simply balance about the game. So while the lore might not always fit, for example, Saber being strong against the Lancer and whatnot, we seen the differences in the animes and all of that. But now this is about the game and simply game mechanics and all that. So, but yes, this is my thoughts. What is your thoughts about it? Do you have different changes and things like that? And honestly, if I could, I would probably talk way more about different classes and things like that that I would want to see in this game. For now, this is my thoughts, and I will be back with another video very soon. So remember to comment, share, subscribe, and like for more. It means so much to me. See you later on. Have a continued super great day.